Morning Meditation, Thursday, August 17th, 2023. Mind your own business. These are the words in essence that Christ spoke to Peter in the book of John, the 21st chapter. After Jesus asked Peter several times, "Do you love me?" Peter rightly responded by saying, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." That question intensifying the second time and the third time, and Peter's answer intensifying the second and the third time. Peter goes on to ask Jesus what is going to happen with John. And Peter is told, more or less, mind your own business. Notice our text here. Jesus asked Peter after finishing breakfast, "Simon, do you love me?" And he said, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." And he said to him, "Then feed my lambs." And he goes on to ask him a second time, "Simon, do you love me?" And he said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Then he said, "Tend my sheep." And he said a third time, "Simon, do you love me?" And Peter was grieved because he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "And feed my sheep." Verse 18. Truly, truly, I say to you, when you were young, you used to dress yourself and walk wherever you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will dress you and carry you where you do not want to go. This he said to show by what kind of death he was to glorify God. And after saying this, he said to him, "Follow me." Now, in a second, we're going to look at verses 20 and following. But notice what Jesus said. "Peter, this is your calling. Feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. Care for my lamb. Lord, you know I love you. Well, then do what I've called you to do." And one day for you, Peter, there's going to be a time when you are going to be doing something you don't want to do. You're going to be stretched out. And he was speaking concerning his crucifixion. So you know what you're supposed to do, Peter. Do that. Knowing other people's business isn't going to help you with what I've called you to do, your task. So be faithful with that. Now, notice verses 20 and following. Verse 20. Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following him, the one who also had leaned back against him during the supper and said, "Lord, who is it that is going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he said to Jesus, "Lord, what about this man?" Jesus said to him, "If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is it to you? You follow me." There you go. What is it to you, Peter? Why are you worried about someone else's business? Worry about your business. Do what God has called you to do. If I want to allow this man to live a long time and you not as long a time, then be content with my will. But if I want to use him in a way that I haven't used you or vice versa, be content with my Father's will. So the same could be said of us. Do what God has called you to do. Don't peek over your shoulder and see what God is doing in someone else's life and be jealous or envious or bothered and upset that God isn't doing those things through you. No, mind your business. The business that God has given you to do that's before you, be faithful in that. Don't worry about someone else's business. Do yours faithfully for the glory of God. So, brothers and sisters, by faith, mind your business and do what God has called you to do. All right, y'all, until next time, grace and peace.